Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing the Blade Showcase. Now, Blade is obviously the newest premium unit, and we're going to be going over his whole kit and throwing him on some teams to see just how good he does and how he can help you in content. So obviously the first place we got to start is with his kit. And of course, I think a good starting point is going to be talking about his typing and his pathing. So he is the wind type, which is pretty good. Now, wind isn't unknown to a couple characters, but as far as a character like Blade, I wouldn't say it's quite crazy. Wind was definitely needed for a big premium character like this that can deal damage. Wind is used quite a bit. I wouldn't say it's to an insane degree where I'm always like, it really sucks I don't have a premium, really good unit that deals wind damage, but there's a couple where, you use like Don Hung and he can do okay, but getting into the 4-star free to play character. As far as the other wind characters, it's Don Hung, Sampo, Bronya, and of course Blade here. Any other ones that I'm forgetting? I don't think so. Nope, just these ones. So he's definitely well needed. He's very nice. When we get harder content that needs wind characters, he'll be there. I haven't checked out the new Hall of Forgotten Hall memory stuff, but there probably is some hard wind characters, or I mean wind enemies in that, and I'm sure he will be useful. There's even a handful of other enemies weak to wind where he can be useful. His typing is definitely to his it's a good thing. It's something good to look at. It's not an over populated typing. For example, like lightning is. There's a ton of lightning characters. So getting more lightning characters isn't the best for us. I mean, we're getting Kafka soon, and it's like lightning feels like it has a little too much. Whereas like imaginary has like no one until just the last update, right? The last premium character. And his path is destruction. Destruction is good. I think destruction is one of the most useful ones. It does good damage, not as much as like the hunt does to a single target, and not as much as like erudition does in AOE. But destruction still does good damage types of both, and they do have good survivability. Usually not as good as like preservation characters or a way that preservation characters do it, but they're tanky enough that they could do what they want. They're a really good all around character. The only thing they're usually lacking is utility for other allies. They always seem to have a utility that helps themselves mostly. It's hard to find them. Clara, she obviously has damage reduction and her follow-up counter attacks, but all that really does is help herself. You could argue in a roundabout way it helps her allies as well because you want her to get targeted so that your other allies don't get targeted, which is of course nice. And I mean, even Blade has his own like self healing and self other things, which are nice utility things, but it is just for them. Now, let's talk about his main abilities here. I have him level 70. I do have the ability to start ascending stuff to 80. I just haven't gotten to doing it for most of my characters yet, but Blade is going to be the first one I actually start doing that on. But I can't wait to make this video, so we're just doing it now. Let's start with this technique, which is Karma Wind, which immediately attacks the enemy after entering combat, consumes 20% of Blade's max HP while dealing wind damage equal to 40% of his max HP to all enemies. If Blade's current HP is insufficient, his HP will be reduced to 1 when his technique is used. So this is something you'll find very quickly with Blade, that his damage scaling is not just attack. You'll find that a lot of his damage scaling actually is to his max HP. But we'll be getting to those a lot more as we get to his skills and ultimates. But his talent is Shuhu's Gift, which is an AoE. So when Blade sustains damage or consumes HP, he gains 1 stack of charge, stacking up to 5 times. So he has a similar little charge gauge under there as other characters do. You get to see it during the entire battle, including just the exact number it is. A max of 1 charge stack can be gained every time he is attacked. When charge stack reaches maximum, which is 5, immediately launches a follow-up attack on all enemies dealing wind damage equal to 33% of Blade's attack, a percent of scaling percentage of Blade's attack plus a scaling percentage of his max HP. At the same time, restores Blade's HP by 25% of max HP. After the follow attack, all charges are consumed. So as he gets hit after 5 times, he will deal a follow-up attack, heal himself a little bit, and reset his charges. His basic attack is a single target, deals 90% of Blade's attack as wind damage to a target enemy. And then, of course, he has a upgraded version of that, but we'll go over that in just 1 second after his skill. So his skill is Hellscape, which costs 1 and is an enhanced ability. It consumes HP equal to 30% of Blade's max HP. I believe this scales as he levels up. Let me just check that super duper quick. It's this here, right? It actually does not seem to scale. My apologies. Well, actually, next level? Yeah, no, it doesn't scale. I thought it scaled. It doesn't. My apologies. But it consumes HP equal to 30% of Blade's max HP to enter the Hellscape state. When Hellscape is active, his skill cannot be used. His damage dealt increases by a scaling percentage, and his basic attack Shard Sword is enhanced to Forest of Swords for 3 turns, which is, of course, what we almost saw last time, but we'll go back to that. Shard Sword is if Blade's current HP is insufficient, his HP will be reduced to 1 when he uses this skill. This skill does not regenerate energy, and using this skill does not end the current turn. So as you'll see, you use his skill, you still get to use his turn, and you get to attack with his new upgraded attack, which is, of course, Forest of Swords, which is a blast, which is a type of, well, not type, it is an AoE ability, which will do the main target and 2 on the side. Now, it consumes HP equal to 10% of Blade's max HP, so whenever you attack with this, you lose 10% max HP, and deals wind damage equal to the sum of a percent of his attack and a percent of his max HP to a single enemy. In addition, deals wind damage equal to the sum of a percent of his attack and a percent of his max HP to adjacent targets. So it does have fall off damage. The center target does take more. The 2 targets on the side take less. If Blade's current HP is insufficient, his HP will be reduced to 1 when using Forest of Swords, and Forest of Swords cannot regenerate skill points. So therefore, you don't use a skill point to get into the state, and then when you use it, just refund it back right away. So it does not allow you to gain skill points, which can be a problem, but at least he is not someone who takes any more skill points for 3 turns after using this ability. And lastly is an ultimate, which is Death Sentence, which is yet again another blast, and has an energy cost of 130, which is on the higher side. So it sets Blade's current HP to 50% of his max HP and deals wind damage to a single enemy equal to the sum of a percent of his attack, a percent of his max HP, and a percent of the tally of Blade's HP loss in the current battle. We'll be going to that in just 1 second. One thing I want to clarify is that set Blade's current HP to 50% does mean that if he's above, he will lose health, and if he is below, he will heal himself up to 50%. And of course, we're going to talk about this tally here, right here, after this, actually, after everything. So at the same time, deals wind damage to adjacent targets equal to the sum of a percent of his attack, a percent of his max HP, and a percent of the tally of his HP loss in the current battle. So here it describes the tally, which is that the tally of Blade's HP loss in the current battle is capped at 90% of his max HP. This value will be reset and reaccumulated after his ultimate has been used. So, this is the game changer. This is what makes Blade special, is that he is not someone who needs to lose health to deal his damage and stay at low health. He is not a threshold character. He's not a character that needs to be at a threshold of HP. He is a character that needs to lose health. And really the only thing that is upgraded by this loss in health is his ultimate, which is tallied throughout the battle. However long it needs to be and however long it tallies, it will tally and tally and tally. And then when you use it, it will start back at 0. But really, you just want to try to lose a lot of health equal to roughly 90% of his overall max health. So if you had him at 1,000, make him lose 900 of his health overall, and then launch the ultimate to be able to deal the max amount of damage it can. However, you just need to lose 900 health. You don't need to be at 100 health in this hypothetical scenario. So he can heal his HP back. Obviously, his talent heals him. His ultimate heals him if he's below 50%. So he can be healed without this affecting this tally at all, which is what makes him really, really good. And also makes his perfect partner, Locha. Now, Locha heals, obviously. He has a safety net heal that occurs every 2 turns if someone falls too far down. I believe it's below 50%. I can't remember. It's a relatively low percent, and he will just automatically heal you up with his skill. He also has his field, which allows allies to attack at a percent of the damage they deal, heals them, so they get like a sort of like a, life steal, right? If you want to think about it that way. So he is just a super healer, and it helps Blade immensely because you don't really want Blade to be low in his health. You just want him to lose health and gain it back. That is the best way to use Blade. And that's how you're going to want to use them. And of course, the best person to do that with is Locha. Now let's go over light cones for him. His best light cone is going to be the premium one that you want to summon for. However, the summon on those banners is kind of troll if you're a free-to-play player and you're not saving up for an astounding character that's easily the best in the game. Will be in the best in the game for a long time. Blade is really good. I would argue he's probably second or third. He's top 3 in the game for sure, right? However, I still don't think it's something where you want to spend all of your current Jade on him and on his light cone. If you have a bunch of Jade to save up for a character, I'd say summon for him. Once you get their one, try to get their light cone, and then spend the rest of the Jade into the character banner. Because, you could get so many dupes in him, but at the end of the day, he's not going to be at his best, even with all those dupes, unless you also have his light cone, right? Now, alternative light cones you can use are a little tricky. Why? His scalings. He's a very unique character in which his damage scales off of his max HP more so than his attack. It's a sum of a smaller percentage of attack and a higher percentage of max HP. Most of his damage comes from his max HP. So when you're looking for a light cone that you want to use for him, you want to find light cones that increase damage, because when you get those summed together, it doesn't increase a certain stat, it just increases the damage, or it increases max health, which is the only destruction light cone that you can use for that is his premium light cone. So the second best one, and it's one that I'd say you should try to use if you have it, is a Secret Vow, which is the Arlen light cone here. And it increases damage dealt by the wearer by a certain percentage. The wearer also deals an extra percent of damage to enemies whose current HP percentage is equal to or higher than the wearer's current HP percentage. That part's really nice. If you're using this, you might want to try to actually keep him a little bit lower, but I would say it's still worth it to just keep him healed up, because you don't want him to die, because him dying would be the worst thing to happen, obviously, unless you have Bailu and you could revive him, but not everyone has her. I don't, that's for sure. But this one is good. I didn't think this one was too bad. If we look at a couple of light cones, I have this one here. Yeah, this one does attack. This one does attack, crit rate, which isn't bad, but you don't really want that. What is this one? Basic attack, skill damage. Well, that one's not even the worst either. 30%? Honestly, we'll see. I don't know if I just switch it to that. Deals 20% more damage to target enemies. The HP percentage is greater than 50%. What is this one? Yep, attack and enemies affected on this. Yeah, we already went over that. So a lot of it is attack. Honestly, if you need like a 3-star light cone to level up, Collapsing Sky isn't bad. You get it to, you superimpose it to 5. It's probably pretty decent. So I'd say top 3 light cones for him would be his premium one, a Secret Vow, and Collapsing Sky. Now for traces, we're just going to go over his special ones, which I have not done yet. I have these ready, but I do not have these ready. Just, trailblazing power. I spend it all. I can only do so much. I wasn't able to plan ahead as much as I want to. But we can go over what they do. So keep these in mind as we go through the showcase, right? So his first bonus ability is Vita Infinita, which is when Blade's carrying HP is at 50% of max HP or lower, incoming healing increases by 20%. So it helps with that healing. This obviously shows that you just want him to be healed up. You want to be healing him as you play. You want to heal him. Heal him! This other one is Never Ending Deaths. If Blade hits a weakness, broken enemy after using Force of Swords, he will restore HP equal to 5% of his max HP plus 100%, right? You're supposed to heal him. This proves even more that, like, the tallying obviously doesn't come into, his healing doesn't come into effect. In case you're like, you don't want to think about it very hard. You see all this healing in this kit, and it'll be like, oh yeah, you're supposed to heal him. And the last one is Cyclone of Destruction, which is damage dealt by talent's follow-up attack increases by 20%. Very nice. Yet again, it's just the follow-up attack increases by 20%, not any specific stat in the calculation of the damage. I'm running low on credits. You want to see that? I'm only like 500,000. I gotta up those numbers up. All right, for relics, I have the new one, these Alondrivis Disciple ones. In case you don't know, these are just made for Blade. They designed them in mind for you putting them on Blade, and you want to put them on Blade. What do you know? Who would have guessed? Like I said, his highest attack scaling is max HP. What do you know? This gives you max HP. A 2-piece gives you increases max HP by 12%, and the 4-piece, when the wearer is hit or has their HP consumed by an ally or themselves, their crit rate increases by 8% for 2 turns and up to 2 stacks. So, when the wearer is hit or has their HP consumed, what do you know? They get upgrades. This is made for Blade. Who would have guessed? So you want to give him this. There's literally no point in putting any other gear on him. This is just made for him. This is what he's supposed to use. Don't put the wind stuff on him, because here's the thing. Even if you pull Blade and it's like, well, but it's like, but I don't have that stuff. I haven't tried to get you that stuff yet. I mean, obviously here I have 2 of them that are 4 stars right now. Like, I leveled up one of them on accident without thinking very hard, right? But if you're like that, you're like, I haven't been able to do them yet. I'll just give them the wind one, the wind damage one, which I guess. But here's the thing: to upgrade Blade past level 40, you're gonna need to get that far in the story anyways. So you might as well just get through the story so that you can do the thing, right? Like, so you can upgrade him. I don't really like this idea of having like this stuff gated so far in the future. In the story wise, because the this is the quick complaint, but the Yarrow 4 story is nowhere near as interesting as the Xian Jiao one, and it can be a little bit of a bog to get through. I'm not gonna lie, and sometimes you want to pull the new character and just use him. Of course, you're not gonna be able to use him to his best ability because you won't be able to level him up past 40 until you get to the current story right now in the Xian Jiao stuff, and it's like you pull new Blade and you're like, I want to use them through the story. And it's like, by the time you get to the Xian Jiao, characters are already supposed to be well above level 40, and you just can't really use them anymore. Your cool new character that you pulled. So I'm not a super big fan of how they did that, but, and I'm not a super big fan of how it's going to go in the future, especially. I don't know. I don't know if people are talking about maybe like, oh, that's kind of sucks, because I know a lot of people in the community obviously are at this point in the story now. But if I had like a friend who wanted to pull Blade and who hasn't gotten through very far in the story, he's going to pull him, and then he's going to need to complete the story to be able to use him at the best of ability. But then he can't even use him in the story. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it's unfortunate. I think that's definitely not something to ignore as a little bit of a problem, I think, if they're going to keep doing it like this. Although part of it is also so you can't have people that are already far just farm all the stuff up, and then right when he comes out, they could just go, whoop, here you go. I already got him maxed out. Although it's not like that's not going to happen for Kafka. So what, you ignore it for one character? I don't know. It's a little weird. Anyways, next up for secondary ones, there's 2 you could go here. Fleet of the Ageless isn't a bad one. Increases the wearer's max HP by 12% yet again, and when the wearer's speed reaches 120 or higher, all allies attack increases by 8%. The little support part at the end doesn't really affect anything. Doesn't even help his damage very much. Doesn't really help anyone. And getting to 120 speed isn't an easy feat. Another one you could use is these ones here, which I have some. I just don't like the substats for him, so I didn't really put them on. But this is something I could definitely switch to in the future, which is the Tachyon Laser System Stadium, which is another one that just came out with Universe 7 or World 7 in the Simulated Universe. And this one increases the wearer's crit rate by 8%, and when the wearer's current crit rate reaches 70% or higher, the wearer's basic attack and skill damage increase by 20%. So it gives him what he likes, which is just like skill damage, like damage numbers up by 20%, not any specific stat. And of course, the crit rate increase is nice. But here's the thing, getting crit rate 70% or higher is really hard to do without having perfect sub stats and even main stats. That is not going to be something that's easy to hit. And the thing is, all the stuff you're supposed to get is current new things that just came out, so no one's going to be able to farm them up to a crazy amount. So it's just, and it takes a lot of resources to like craft these yourself. So it's a tricky situation. Right now I'd say aim for these when you can get them and get that level, so like have good stats. But until then, I think Fleet of the Ageless is fine, and you'll probably have a lot of those. Let's go over his dupes. I have none in here. I'm not a pay to win player. I only really just pull a character just for content. But let's go over his dupes, which is number 1 is Blade cuts the deepest in hell. Blade's ultimate deals additionally increased damage to a single enemy target with the increased amount equal to 150% of the tally of Blade's HP loss in the current battle. So, yeah, really good. This is an essential one for sure. Being able to get the extra increased tally of his HP loss by a significant margin there, and for free. Well, pulling a dupe of him, but it's for free. Interesting wording here is that the deals additional increased damage to a single enemy target. Is that the one you choose? If it's an AoE, is that the one you choose in the middle? Is the one that's already taken most of the damage? If it has to be an AoE and hits the side units, does it count for that? If it just says a single target and doesn't have any sort of like increase, is it gonna choose one at random? I feel like it can't be that one, but the wording isn't super clear there. 10,000 sorrows from one broken dream. When Blade is in the Hellscape state, which so you use his skill, his crit rate increases by 50%. That's super useful, and that's actually really useful to help you get to that percentage that you need for his best planar stuff if you get the stats for it. 3 is a level up one, but its Hardened Blade bleeds Coldest Shade. 4 is Rejected by Death, Infected with Life. When Blade's current HP drops to 50% or lower of his max HP, increases the max HP by 20%, stacks up to 2 times. Really interesting, having max HP growth in the middle of the fight. I don't know if anyone else has that, like in any type of their kit. That's a really interesting thing to do, and of course, that will just dramatically increase his damage, getting a percent increase of that. Then increases all of his damage scaling as well. It's a really good one. 5, Death by 10 Lord's Gaze is a level up 1. And finally, 6, Reborn into an Empty Husk. The maximum number of charge stacks is reduced to 4. The damage of the follow-up attack triggered by Blade's talent additionally increases by 50% of his max HP. So this one is so good. I would say this is one of the few where all of his, I hit the mic there, hopefully that wasn't bad. But all of his level up abilities, like in his dupe system, are all really good. This one's also really good, allowing you to reduce the number of times he needs to get hit to do his follow-up to just 4. And of course, increases by damage 50% of the max HP as well, which is not a shabby number. It won't be. So his dupe system is really good. I didn't get a chance to look at it when we did the breakdown because they didn't have it on the website yet. But this is before he had released. So now being able to see that, I see that he truly is crazy. Well, good job, Blade. You're good. You're good. All right, let's go over the teams. We're going to be running some content in with him. The first one is one that I'm going to go in here with you here, and we just want to be able to look at everything that his kit has to offer and how high or low these damage numbers can get. So I have some port, some debuffer, and I have Locha, who I said is his best partner, and I meant it. Next up is 5, which is supposed to be a little bit more of a balanced one, a team that we would probably run at a higher level to be able to use. This one I have Blade, Locha, March 7th, and Clara. I figured that the extra damage from another destruction unit, along with him not taking the brunt of the damage, because he'll do plenty of damage to himself to the point where you don't really need to worry about him getting hit. He'll still get hit, probably. So, not having him the sole focus of someone who gets hit and having someone else who can, make him get hit or get hit instead isn't too bad. And the last one, I usually like to do a quote-unquote budget team. Let's say this is the only 5-star you have. What good team can you do run with just 4 stars? And I just realized this one is incredibly similar to this one, actually, except I switched out March 7th instead. And I actually think I pressed the wrong one because I did not mean to bring Tingyun. I'm pretty sure I meant to bring Natasha. They must have been right next to each other when I was building this, because you still do need a healer on the team, of course. He has a little bit of self-heal, but you still need someone to heal. But yeah, this one's a little bit more of a budget team, right? Natasha, March 7th. They're obviously free-to-play characters. Pella's a relatively easy to play 4-star, right? So we're going to be going through and with these teams. I will see you in just a second. All right, here we are in Memory Stage 13 of the Normal Forgotten Hall. There's so many of them, and they're all the second fight for win type fights. But we're gonna do this one here. This one, I'll be sure to actually be able to show off all the cool abilities that Blade has here. Now let's do this here. There's also the Svarog fight. You could throw him in here, but the Svarog fight gives you an increase if you are above 80% health, which he might be most of the time here with Locha on the field. But also, it's not the best fight for him just because he does not getting that bonus, but still doesn't. You can, for sure. All right, so I'm going to do this, and I'm actually, the main focus of the day. Sorry, I lost track of what I was saying there. But the point is we're looking at Locha and what, not Locha, he was the character. Looking at Blade and what he can do. So, Obviously, these enemies aren't weak to him in any way, but we want to look at the numbers he's doing and how good it is. So we just started the fight. He is at almost max health, and he has already gotten hit 2 times. His max HP is, can we actually see what his max is? 4,594, which is pretty good. And we can see his exact crit rate and stuff like that. So right now, starting the fight, no, crit rate's 23%, so he's not getting that buff. Anyway, let's use his enhance. This is what you want to do here, right? He's going to take a little bit of damage. He's going to get that enhanced attack, and he's also going to take some more damage there. But he heals because the Locha field is up, which is exactly what you want. Now remember, he is being buffed by Ting Yun. However, Ting Yun's buff, I believe, is only to the attack stat. Let me see if that's true. Skill increases their attack by 30%. Yes. So he's not getting, huge numbers. The best thing, of course, for him would be to get damage up. But that's not what Ting Yun does. But she'll still be good. She's good for attackers. Usually ones that have much higher attack percentages. But honestly, it might be better to just bring 2 debuffers. Which actually reminds me, I don't know why I brought Pella. I have Silverwolf. I should have brought her. Why didn't I bring Silverwolf? That wasn't smart. But anyways, Ting Yun just got blasted. I have no clue why she just got so unbelievably blasted. So we're going to do this here, which hopefully will allow some of these guys to drop his defense reduction. Perfect. She got so healed from that ability. All right, maybe kill this guy. All right. Let's look how much damage she's doing here. 5,709 damage in a regular AoE, plus the follow-up attack. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Let's just hit this guy here. Might as well just hit these weak guys. We're not really caring about hurrying this up here. Let's get the impair off. It didn't go off. That's fine. Let's not put his field back up. Let's see how well Blade is going to be doing. We do get the max health HP percentage shields, which isn't bad. Like I said before, getting stuff like that is not bad by any means. Okay, because, you want him to heal up. He'll take all his own HP, right? So you don't need to worry too much about him getting hit. In fact, you almost really don't want him to get the chance to get hit, because when he gets really low, if you don't have Locha, and he gets hit, then he'll just die, and he'll have no help for you when he's just dead. Alright, see how much damage he does here. 7,700, specifically, I saw the only last number there. It didn't do too much damage to the first guy here, which is interesting. However, he doesn't have any debuffs on him. Start this up. We don't use his ultimate yet. Let's see if we get the debuff. We cannot still. Wow. Alright, just keep attacking side units. I want to see the numbers. The numbers, Blade. Blade didn't get frozen. That's good. Alright, we're going to use the ultimate because that will pretty much guarantee defense reduction. Okay. Let's see how much damage he's doing now with this here. Yeah, significantly more even with less targets, so you know it's actually doing more damage. Let's use the alt now. Let's see how it is. He hasn't lost nearly enough health for this to be at its maximum. Not even close to enough health for this to be his maximum. So let's say you're using it a little prematurely. You have it filled up. Let's see how much damage he might be able to deal here. The animation for this looks so nice as well. So it is multi-hitting. It still did do a good 12k damage. Not 12k. Was that 12k? Oh my gosh, I'm pretty sure it was. There's no way it was 1,000. So 12k damage, right? Is obviously good. You're not going to see me going around saying, that's bad, actually. That's pretty good. All right, kill that guy. There you go. So now we can get more exact numbers. No point in doing that. It's already defense reduced. You're back up. Blade's still taking damage. This isn't bad. All right, let's do the enhance again. Well, actually, let's see how much damage is with a single target. This one is only attack-based, right? Remember, that's a defense reduction. Did 1,591 damage. Yeah, not really doing very much. I don't see any reason ever that you wouldn't just use his skill unless you can't. Even if he gets attacked, if we have those characters that have like skill ban and you get hit, it's still actually good for Blade to do that. So I would say there's never, I can't think of a single reason off the top of my head why you would never just use Blade's skill right away, right? I just don't see any reason for that. Castle 9,950 healed him up too. That's nice. I'd like to use his ultimate again after he takes a lot more damage. Let's hope we don't kill him in any way, although no one's really weak to him. Alright, so let's use Enhance. So he's going to lose a big chunk of health. Very good. Let's use this. So yeah, he's dealing 10k damage off that. And then 5,000 damage AoE hit. I would like to remind you, this is all single target against an enemy that did not have defense lowered stuff like that. It was only buff he is currently getting is Ting Yun's attack buff. Just attack stat buff to show off how crazy his abilities are. He does a really good job. Okay, I didn't use the buff there. I'm going to do that. He's just going to kill this guy, isn't he? He really is. Yeah. He is just going to kill that guy. Okay. There you go. I believe that's a 3-star clear on that as well. Not that that matters. I already have 3 stars. Okay. Well, I showed everything off in his kit and the amount of damage he could do. I didn't get to get the huge, big ultimate attack. So I'm actually just going to wait a second. I want to see how much damage he could do with his ultimate. All right, here we go. This is definitely max buff. I just brought him alone here into, I think this is 10. Definitely hitting the max ultimate here. We got his follow-up attack. We got his other stuff. He's gotten healed quite a bit. This should be pretty close to max damage. This is not a low-level enemy, but I'm curious to see how much he can do on a single target like this. 6,358. Not that impressive. Remember, 0 support, 0 anything extra on him right now. I'm also interested in his survivability alone like this. If you see, he can get his thing quite a bit. Do that. He's taking damage and take damage here. I want to get his ult again because he's taking a lot of damage. All right. Let's see how much it. Oh my gosh, he just killed right there. That did 11k. Wow. Okay. Yeah, he can deal damage, guys. He can deal damage. So one thing that is to remember with any multi fights you're doing, you got your memories of chaos stuff, where you fight 2 people. You got these other ones where you actually fight 2 people and with one team. Is that when he's at low health like this, literally so low? Can I see what his health is right now? No, I can't. There's no way to look at characters. Anyways, you get really low like this, it doesn't really matter. It's not gonna tally up how much health he's lost for his ultimate or anything like that. So, we go into this. Let's just say hypothetically here, go into this. We're fighting. We do this. We're gonna be down at 1 health, I believe, right here with this. Yeah, we're at 1 health. Yeah, we died right there. But let's say I was quick to the challenge, right, and immediately press the ultimate. That the number being at 1 health isn't going to increase the ultimate damage at all. The only thing that would have put in calculation is the small amount of health that I lost when I used my ability to get into the fight like that. So one thing to remember with multi fights like that, something where you want to use Blade is the memories of chaos, Forgotten Hall stuff, right? In any of this stuff, any of the hard content, he's a hard hitter. You want to use him in hard content, simulated universe, whatever. Things that have multiple fights going into each other. You do have to understand that it's the amount of health velocity in the battle. It's not going to be tallying anything from the past one. Anyways, I'm going to do a couple more fights. I'll talk over them, and you don't need to worry about me being there. They'll be sped up. I'll see you in just 1 second. All right, so for the first one, we're going to memory stage 14, and we're not doing the second fight where we have someone actually weak to wind. No, I decided to go pretty hard on Blade in these next 2 fights because I know he's a premium character. I know he's really good, but I wanted to challenge him a little bit here. So for this first fight, we are actually going up. This is the balanced team. This is a team that I would probably run for realsies, He's just a good team. And I decided to put Blade up against an enemy that he wouldn't actually be good against, that wouldn't actually have his weakness, wind weakness. The reason I did this is because, maybe you have Blade and you use him at at a good ability, but he's not, sometimes I am curious to see how well he'd do against someone that he can actually weakness break like this. And he does really well. He is really, 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 really good. This fight is actually just really, really fast, actually. But we have Blade here, and he does a good job. We have a team where he has Loach on there, so he's going to continuously healed. We have March 7th and Clara, so that he is pretty much never getting attacked, and his damage numbers are quite impressive. He helps quite a bit. Sure, he's not doing insane damage, but I was completely impressed with the damage he was doing. This ultimate, I remember doing very little damage for whatever reason, but maybe just because there's still the toughness, but he was really good. Yeah, look how much damage he does there. Didn't get to finish it off with him, but he was good. This one is the budget team here, and this one was actually quite hard. I decided yet again to put Blade in a very unfortunate situation for himself. I kind of regret the last team we did just because Blade wasn't really the focus, but we got to see how good he was on like a team with other really good characters and how much helpful he was. This one, Blade is good against the enemy, but this is a really hard fight, and he is the only one good against the enemy. I did this one a little bit wrong. We lose this first one. I knew it was going to be hard for him. He is the only one doing something in this fight, and that was kind of the point of what I wanted to do, was to show, hey, he can carry. He can get you through the content because he is that good. However, this happens, and we have no way to break him out. We have zero way to break him out, and he will die in here. And well, after he dies, I decide to just finish this run because, you know, he's the main character and he just died. Right? I wasn't going to continue on with this. I try so hard to see if there's any way, if we just do enough damage, but no. He doesn't actually die in there, but I don't press the ultimate fast enough. I was trying to press it. I should have been on a computer. I would have been able to do it. So we just left that. Tried again in the same one. I grew a little bit of a brain this time and was like, okay, I need to switch the characters around. I don't know why I decided to keep the same exact team as last time, considering that if you were a free-to-play player, you wouldn't use characters like this that just aren't good. I wish I realized that when I also brought March 7th in there as well, because I didn't really end up using her in any way that I wanted to. But the damage mitigation that Blade gets in this fight isn't too bad. However, this one runs into a similar problem, which is the hand literally only chooses Blade every single time. It chooses no other character, only Blade. Is there a reason why? I don't understand its targeting, I guess, but it literally picked Blade up every single time. Luckily, this time I had someone who could actually break him out. So we do end up winning this one, even if it takes a while. But yet again, like I say, Blade is the best character on this team by far. That's kind of the point, is can he carry you through content? If you are a free-to-play player, and literally your only 5-star is Blade, can he carry you through difficult content? This is not an easy fight. He's only level 70. Everyone on here is only level 70. Serval's actually level 60, which maybe she's almost more impressive in this fight because she doesn't die and she actually does really well, breaking Blade out every single time. So maybe this is more a how good Serval is, surprisingly. But Blade, and I definitely put her up the ranks for me, honestly. But honestly, here's the thing. Blade is doing the most damage, right? He's doing insane damage. He's got his follow-up attacks are insane. His ultimates do good damage. He is doing really good damage. Oh, I turned the night shift off there. Yeah, because it started to turn on. It's late for me, and this video took a really goddamn long time. But Blade he's him. He does really, really excellent damage. And that was kind of the point. He carried me through this fight overall. He had some help, obviously. Like I said before, I should have had March 7th out. I should have put Asta there instead. But it's fine. It doesn't matter. But, you know, obviously the other people hold their weight. Natasha does plenty of good healing, saving other characters, keeping Blade healthy so that, you know, when he's losing his health, it's not too bad. I was still getting really annoyed because I just kept taking Blade every single time. But, you know, this time I had Serval, so she was able to help. I'm not sure why I waited here for so long just to heal Serval. I was like, do I want to heal Blade? I know he's going to get hit. But I was like, whatever. He's fine. Blade's fine. He does really nice damage. I am impressed with him. I think he's a really good character. I think he has a unique build so that he doesn't have to fight for some of those really good relics that other damage dealing characters want. He gets the max HP scaling, which is just essential for the type of kit he has. He's just really good. I think they did a really good job. At this point, I just try to kill him, but then hey, he actually kills himself with a follow-up attack, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, Blade's really good. Don't let that last fight really like turn you off on Blade. It was supposed to be an incredibly hard. He was supposed to be up against, you know, the wall. This was supposed to be a really hard fight to see how well he does, and he did really good damage. And it just goes to show that, you know, it is a team-based game. No one character is going to carry you. That said, he will carry you, and he will do a lot of damage. So he's definitely worthwhile pickup if he's the type of character you need. Although I've said before, say for Quantum, we're going to get a crazy amount of Quantum team. But this isn't the video for that. I think I'm going to do another video where I go over that stuff again. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.